In this video, let's understand tool calling in a simple and practical way. We'll see what it means, why it matters, how it works step by step, and where it is used in the real world. Along the way, you'll get a few quick quizzes to check your understanding. Tool calling means an AI model can go beyond its built-in training and interact with external tools, APIs or systems. So instead of only answering from memory, it can fetch real-time data, query a database, execute a function, or trigger an action. This is why tool calling is such an important capability in modern AI systems. Traditional large language models are limited by the data they were trained on. Even if training data is huge, it still becomes outdated and cannot cover every live situation. Tool calling solves this by letting the model reach out for current information, external computation, and interactive actions when needed. With tool calling, an LLM is no longer just a passive assistant. It can become more proactive. It can automate workflows, work through multi-step tasks, interact with systems, and even make decisions based on fresh inputs. That shift is one of the foundations of agentic AI. Now let us look at this in a simple table format. Tool calling workflow. Main stages from user request to final answer. Here is the full workflow at a glance. The model first recognizes that it needs a tool. Then it selects the right one, sends a structured query, processes the returned result, presents the answer or takes an action, and if the user wants more detail, it can refine the search and repeat the cycle. Early language models generated answers only from what they had already learned during training. They could not check current weather, stock prices, or user-specific account details. That made them impressive, but still disconnected from many real-world tasks where fresh data is essential. Now that we've covered core idea, let's test what we've learned so far. Here's quiz number 1. See if you can get it right. Question 1. What does tool calling allow an AI model to do? The correct answer is use external tools. Tool calling lets an AI interact with external tools, APIs and systems to extend what it can do. Question 2. Why are traditional LLMs limited without tool calling? The correct answer is they depend on training data. Without tool calling, LLMs rely mainly on pre-trained knowledge, which may be outdated or incomplete. Question 3. Which capability is strongly enabled by tool calling? The correct answer is agentic AI. Tool calling is a key enabler of agentic AI because it helps systems act using external resources. Several components work together in tool calling. First, the model recognizes it needs outside help. Then a tool selection mechanism chooses the right dependency, like a search engine or database. After that, an API interface sends the request. And finally, a response processing layer formats the result properly for the user. Suppose the user asks, "What is the weather in San Francisco right now?" The model realizes this needs live weather data, which is not available from static training alone. It then selects the right tool, maybe a weather API. Tool metadata such as tool name, description, parameters, and input-output types help the system make the correct choice. Templates can also guide which tool to use and what arguments to send. Next, the AI constructs a request in a format the tool understands. This often follows an API reference that specifies endpoints, methods, and response structure. Many services also require an API key. Once the request is sent, the external tool returns data, often in a machine-readable format like JSON. The model then passes that data and extracts what is useful. After processing the result, the AI presents the answer in a useful way. If the task is action-based, like setting a reminder, it can confirm that the action has been completed. And if the user asks a follow-up question, the system can refine the query and repeat the process. This makes tool calling suitable for interactive and multi-turn experiences. Now that we've covered workflow steps, let's test what we've learned so far. Here's quiz number 2. See if you can get it right. Question 1. What happens first in tool calling? The correct answer is Recognize need. The model must first detect that it lacks enough knowledge or needs an external function. Question 2. What helps the model identify the correct tool? The correct answer is tool metadata. Metadata like tool name, description and parameters helps the model and system choose the right tool. Question 3. Which format is commonly returned by tools or APIs? The correct answer is JSON. APIs often return machine-readable data in formats like JSON, which the model can parse. An important part of tool calling is structure. External systems usually expect a specific input schema. That means the model must generate requests in the correct format. The arguments or args contain the parameters needed by the tool. If the structure is wrong, the tool may fail or return unusable results. The article also mentions two related ideas. Retrieval augmented generation or RAG helps the model fetch relevant structured or unstructured information before generating an answer. This can improve context and reduce unnecessary API overhead. LangChain is a popular framework that helps connect LLMs with tools, manage arguments, handle outputs, and even chain multiple tools together for more advanced workflows. Tool calling supports many practical use cases. It can retrieve real-time information from the web or financial sources. It can execute code or calculations through systems like Python environments. It can automate business workflows such as scheduling, email, or CRM tasks. And it can also be used in smart devices, IoT monitoring, and even robotics control scenarios. Now that we've covered use cases, let's test what we've learned so far. Here's quiz number 3. See if you can get it right. Question 1. What do args represent in tool calling? The correct answer is structured inputs. Args are the structured parameters passed to a tool or function so it can run correctly. Question 2. Which is a common tool calling use case? The correct answer is real-time search. One major use case is information retrieval, where AI fetches live data from search systems or APIs. Question 3. What is LangChain commonly used for here? The correct answer is managing tool workflows. LangChain helps integrate tools, manage execution, handle inputs and outputs, and support multi-turn workflows. That's it for this lesson on tool calling. If you understood how AI connects to tools, handles structured requests and supports real-world actions, you've got the core idea. Keep exploring, because this concept sits right at the heart of modern AI agents.